But one farmer says, seems to me there was a tea party in Boston that was illegal too.
I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold.
We shall seek to establish and maintain a dollar which will not change its purchasing and debt-paying power during the succeeding generation.
As anguished shrieks rose up from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange.
Government credit and government currency are really one and the same thing. A reserve of gold and a small reserve of silver.
So, and I said, well, what if it does happen? And he says, well, price will solve everything. I said, thanks, give me the gold.
Why do central banks hold it? Well, it's a form of reserves. So why don't they hold diamonds? Well, it's tradition, long-term tradition.
Well, some people still think it's money.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Junius Maltby channel. Today it is myself, Mrs. Maltby, and of course the Ann Cat. Say hello, Ann Cat. I'll bring the mic to you. Thank you, Ann Cat. You can sit down. So I've passed the congestion or the heavy congestion stage. I'm now in the stage where people at work, when I'm on the telephone who don't know me, say, "Thank you, sir." So that's a recap of my day earlier. My voice is kind of going in and out. Yesterday I didn't have a voice at all. But let's keep going here. We're going to be doing a little bit on silver and other topics here. I'll do my best. So here we have a very short clip that Ann Cat hardly let me get of the first silver coin that Junius ever purchased for me. Isn't it adorable? Okay, I doubt you guys care about how a coin looks or how adorable it is on this channel, so let's keep going here. Now I'm going to be taking a look at a couple websites here. I've used this one before. It's a website completely in Spanish. So again, I'm translating and then I've got some other articles in English. So in case you're wondering, you guys, it's a little hard sometimes to translate things from Spanish to English when it comes to economics because there's words that are kind of weird and I have to sort of figure them out or consult in my brain here. And Spanish is my first language, but I mean, I've never had to say certain words growing up in my life. So just, again, bear with me on the translations, but I assure you that the information that I'm providing you, although translated, is not incorrect numbers-wise and overall information-wise. And what I've done is essentially just take these articles in Spanish and translate them in a Word document, and that's kind of what I'm going to do for future videos if I come across a foreign article for a language that I actually speak. Google Translate, anybody who speaks another language and actually uses that can confirm it just does not work. It's much easier to go sentence by sentence and kind of get the main point across to you guys and translate it. So I've got all this stuff written in a Word document here, and I just want to show you what I'm looking at in Spanish so that you know I'm not making it up. So let's get going. Let's take a look. Let's read this article together. This is an article talking about how the price of silver is going to explode due to industrial needs of future 5G phones. More than gold, silver is vulnerable to supply shortages due to its crucial role in our high-tech society. Consider the emerging technology of 5G phones, an acronym used to refer to the fifth generation of mobile phone technologies. The speed at which this technology allows browsing on mobile devices is up to 1.2 gigabits per second. Junius didn't let me talk about the 5G conspiracy theory stuff, by the way, so I'm just going to keep reading and be really boring. These new 5G phones will need silver as a fundamental component, no less than approximately 88 million ounces. An industrial demand that will make the precious metal, quote, poor in a future that has already arrived, an indispensable product in the world market, says U.S. analyst David Smith. As much as the story of gold is heard, it is really silver that keeps the economy going. Oil may be much more important than silver, but that does not negate the fact that we need silver and cat. Jeez, stop. Okay, oil may be much more important than silver, but that does not negate the fact that we need silver to continue operating in today's world. The banking system cannot function without computers, as there is money in their computers, and we cannot exchange information without the money as required in all fixed or wireless telephone communications, says Smith, taking the report by David Morgan as the basis of his words. The silver is more critical than most people think because it is ubiquitous. Ubiquitous. The silver is more critical than most people think because it is ubiquitous. It is everywhere, in a very small quantity. Every day we handle little shards of silver and don't even think about it. At some point, the hoarding of demand from industrial users contributes to an overwhelming supply disruption. Industrial users with a variety of future metal supply needs are already taking positions with mining producers to secure these needs. We've seen this with Tesla, in regards to nickel, lithium, and cobalt, and other automakers, copper and zinc, and inevitably at some point, I think, with silver. Take Smith as a reference. This type of fund positioning is typically carried out quietly, with a company buying shares from a producer or providing cash infusions for its ongoing operations, or even taking a buying share in the ounces of a trade and exploration on the ground, Morgan says in his report. And he uses as a reference what happened to the Ford company in Palladium. In 2001, a rumor that Russia, the producer of most of the world's palladium. I'm going to look this up. Hold on. I'm so sorry. This is where Junius is better than I am because he doesn't say things all dumb. English is his first language. Let's see here.
Palladium.
Okay. All right, so in 2001, a rumor that Russia, again, the producer of most of the world's palladium, might stop producing the precious metal actually prompted the Ford Motor Company to aggressively store it. Critical metal needed to make your catalytic converters, by the way. At the time, palladium was trading at $1,100 per ounce, a price level that should not be exceeded for another 20 years. Soon after, Russia began exporting again, and the price plummeted to $140 an ounce, forcing Ford to write off $1 billion in inventory. Monetary demand is now beginning to exceed that of industry. Morgan again claims that at some point enough people wake up and understand that their currency is worth less and less, which means a tipping point will be reached. It could be achieved with an additional 1% of the investing/saver public, or it could be achieved with another purchase of Berkshire Hathaway or equivalent. This year, 2020, more silver has been bought as money, investment, safe haven, or hard assets than is used in industry. And as a result, we are preparing for one of the most significant moves into things of value than you have ever witnessed in the world. I guess that's a matter of personal opinion or probably just poor translation on my end. But there is an infinite demand for money because under the current system, the debt can never be paid since it is necessary to create interest to pay the debt. Money represents many things: stored energy, stored work, security, future planning, financing for retirement, etc. Most think of money as security for their future. When enough people see that they have no money and realize that they have a substitute who is actually a fraud, the race for real, honest money, precious metals, will overwhelm the markets. And that's an important thing to take in. That's the whole premise of this channel here. So that was that video. Let's move on to, or that article, sorry. Let's move on to the next one here. Let me pull it up for you all. So here we've got silver could explode within weeks. Now, I know some of you on this channel are very anti-silver, and then some of you are very pro-silver. My role here is to provide you the information that I see as stated. We do own and hold some silver in this household, and we have some gold. So there's that. Do you have a flashlight, spare batteries, and some duct tape stashed away for home emergencies like power outages or hurricanes? Of course you do. How about 100 ounces of silver coins? Well, if not, you should. In an extreme social or infrastructure breakdown, where banks, ATMs, and store scanners are offline, silver coins might be the only way to buy groceries for your family. This is one of many reasons why sales of silver coins and bullion are set to skyrocket. The upcoming election and its aftermath could witness social unrest that would make this summer's chaos look downright tame. We might not even know the winners for several weeks after the election, and things could get very ugly. I'm going to take a quick pause here because they're talking about the election, and, that reminds me of the people who, of course, are involved in it. Now, I don't subscribe to a political party myself. I consider myself, like Junius, as a political atheist. I hate all politicians equally, but Kamala Harris has the most punchable face I have ever seen on a female politician. She annoys the ever-living hell out of me. Every time she speaks, she opens her mouth, her mannerisms, her attitude, her little eye rolls, and her disrespect towards anybody that she speaks to. It drives me crazy. Now, I don't pay attention to television or things much, but I did watch the debate, and I'm telling you, I thought that the honor of my most hated female politician went to Hillary Clinton, and then it switched to Pelosi, and now Kamala, you are in first place. So, just thought I'd vent that. Sorry, Junius. I'll get back to the silver. Anyway, the upcoming election and its aftermath could make this very complicated and very ugly. And if that happens, shortages will appear, and the price of silver could soar to $60 per ounce or higher from current levels of about $25 per ounce. And he goes on to say here, subtitle, Silver is more practical than gold. As you know, I write and speak frequently on the role of gold in the monetary system, yet I rarely discuss silver. Some assume I dislike silver as a hard asset for your portfolio, and that's not true. And again, this is James Rickards speaking. He is the author of this article. In fact, in an extreme crisis, silver may be more practical than gold as a medium of exchange. A gold coin is too valuable to exchange for a basket of groceries, but a silver coin or two is just about right. Here's a photograph of your correspondent inside a highly secure vault in Switzerland. I'm pictured with this pallet of silver ingots of 99.99% purity. The ingots weigh 1,000 ounces each, about 62 pounds. The brown paper hung on the walls behind me is to hide certain security features in the vault that the vault operators did not want to reveal. You may notice the small 1 kilo gold bar by my left hand, worth about $45,000. Silver is more difficult to analyze than gold because gold has almost no uses except as money. Gold is widely used in jewelry, but I consider gold jewelry a hard asset, or what I call, quote, wearable wealth. Silver, on the other hand, has many industrial applications. Silver is both a true commodity and a form of money. This means that the price of silver may rise or fall based on industrial utilization and the business cycle, independent of monetary factors such as inflation, deflation, and interest rates. Nevertheless, silver is a form of money, along with gold, dollars, Bitcoin, and euros, and always has been. My expectation is that as savers and investors lose confidence in central bank money, they will increasingly turn to physical money, gold and silver, and non-central bank digital money, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, as stores of wealth and a medium of exchange. This is why I call silver the, quote, the once and future money, because silver's role as money in the future is simply a return to silver's traditional role as money throughout history. In short, silver is as much a monetary metal as gold and has just as good a pedigree when it comes to use in coinage. Silver has supported the economies of empires, kingdoms, and nation-states throughout history. Before the Renaissance, world money existed as precious metal coins or bullion. Caesars and kings hoarded gold and silver and dispensed it to their troops, fought over it, and stole it from each other. Land has been another form of wealth since antiquity. Still, land is not money because, unlike gold and silver, it cannot easily be exchanged and has no uniform grade. In the 14th century, Florentine bankers, called that because they worked on a bench or banco in the piazzas of Florence and other city-states, accepted deposits of gold and silver in exchange for notes, which were a promise to return the gold and silver on demand. The notes were a more convenient form of exchange than physical metal. They could be transported long distances and redeemed for gold and silver at branches of a Florentine bank family in London or Paris. Banknotes were not unsecured liabilities, rather, warehouse receipts on precious metals. Renaissance bankers realized they could put the precious metals in their custody to other uses, including loans to princes. This left more notes issued than physical metal in custody. Bankers relied on the fact that the notes would not all be redeemed at once, and they could recoup the gold and silver from princes and other parties in time to meet redemptions. Does that sound familiar to any of you? Thus was born fractional reserve banking, in which physical metal held is a fraction of paper promises made. We got first QE. Despite the advent of banking, notes, and fractional reserves, gold and silver retained their core role as world money. Princes and merchants still held gold and silver coins in purses and stored precious metals in vaults. Bullion and paper promises stood side by side. Still, the system was bullion-based. Silver performed a leading role in this system. If gold was the first world money, silver was the first world currency. Silver's popularity as a monetary standard was based on supply and demand. Gold was always scarce, silver more readily available. Charlemagne invented quantitative easing, or QE, in the 9th century by substituting silver for gold coinage to increase the money supply in his empire. Spain did the same in the 16th century. Under the U.S. Coinage Act of 1792, both gold and silver coins were legal tender in the U.S. From 1794 to 1935, the U.S. Mint actually issued silver dollars in various designs. These were widely circulated and used as money by everyday Americans. The American dollar was legally defined as 1 ounce of silver. The American silver dollar of the late 18th century was a copy of the earlier Spanish real, Real de Ocho, minted by the Spanish Empire beginning in the late 16th century. And the English name for the Spanish coin was the piece of 8. Ocho is the Spanish word for 8, because the coin could easily be divided into 1/8 pieces. And I actually do think that Junius would sell me at auction just to get his hands on some of those pieces of 8 there. Not even joking. Until 2001, stock prices on the New York Stock Exchange were quoted in 1/8 and 1/16 based on the original Spanish silver coin and its 1/8 sections. And we move on here to what he calls the debasement of U.S. coinage. Silver has most of gold's attractions. Silver is of uniform grade, malleable, relatively scarce, and pleasing to the eye. After the U.S. made gold possession a crime in 1933, don't get Junius started on that, silver coins circulated freely. The U.S. minted 90% solid silver coins until 1964, and debasement started in 1965. Depending on the particular coin, dimes, quarters, or half dollars, the silver percentage dropped from 90% to 40% and eventually to 0 by the early 1970s. Since then, U.S. coins in circulation contain copper and nickel. From antiquity until the mid-20th century, citizens of even modest means might have some gold or silver coins. Today, there are no circulating gold or silver coins. Such coins that exist are bullion and kept out of sight. Silver wins, no matter who wins the election. Silver has had a very good year, which should not surprise you since gold's had a very good year, and the two metals generally, but not always, track one another. Silver has backed off a bit from its August high, over $28 per ounce on July 13th, but it's holding tough around $25 today. This article was written only a few days ago. Regardless of which party wins the U.S. presidential election in November, the U.S. is set for more fiscal stimulus in 2021 and lots of government spending, because we all know that we could use so much more of that to our untouchable and record-breaking debt. If Joe Biden, the pedophile, wins, Democrats will push for free health care for all, free health care for illegal immigrants, and the Green New Deal. If President Trump wins, you'll also see a lot more spending. One thing Trump has proven in his time in office is that he's not a fiscal conservative. So either way, we're looking at more spending, bigger deficits, more money printing, and eventually more inflation. The market's anticipation of this outcome, starting in early November, will be a powerful tailwind for silver, and investors should prepare now before the spike. And that was, again, an article by James Rickards, whatever you want to call him. And you are free to formulate and make your own opinions on this. I just thought it was a great article. And here we see the Perth Mint silver bullion sales in September mark fourth highest monthly total on record. And Kat, just leave. Let's start over. The Perth Mint silver bullion sales in September mark fourth highest monthly total on record. And this article was put out just a couple days ago, and I'm also taking a look at one here that's not on the screen in front of me, written on October 26th, which is today. They notate the same thing, that the Perth Mint, or the Mint of Western Australia, has seen its silver product sales skyrocket in September, making it the fourth best month since 2013. Gold product sales slowed from the previous month, although they were much higher than those registered a year earlier. Australian bullion sales in September remained firm for gold products and soared for silver products, the latest figures from the Perth Mint show. Its silver sales ranked fourth highest for a month since Coin News started tracking the data in February of 2013. The stronger sales were attributed, in part, to the release of the lunar-themed bullion coins dated for 2021, the Mint noted. We established the lunar coin series back in 1996, and it has consistently been one of our most successful annual releases among both investors and collectors, said Neil Vance, the general manager at Minted Products. We have an expansive network of international distributors for these coins who have ordered strongly again, especially in the United States and Germany, where our brand is very well known. Let's go ahead and include actually a picture of that coin for you, the 2021 coin that's coming out. And there it is, the 2021 Australian Year of the Ox 1 ounce silver bullion coin, reverse. Not my thing, but apparently it's a lot of people's things, because, continuing on with the article, this has led to excellent sales figures being recorded in a month in which both gold and silver have seen their prices fall, 3.6% for gold and 13.3% for silver, according to data from the London Bullion Market Association. Perth Mint sales of gold coins and gold bars totaled 62,637 ounces last month, down 7.2% from August, but 33.8% higher than in September 2019. Year-to-date gold sales at 579,466 ounces are 158.9% higher than the 223,821 ounces sold last year through 9 months. The Mint's sale of silver coins and silver bars reached 1,677,383 ounces last month, marking gains of 17.2% from August and 24.3% from September of last year. The month's tally lags only behind. And here they have the March 2020 sales of 1,736,409, March 2016 sales 1,756,238 ounces, and September 2015 sales of 3,349,557 ounces. Silver sales for the year so far at 13,162,714 ounces, making it 69% higher than the 7,789,569 sold through the same period in 2019. And here they have a chart. It's a monthly summary of Perth Mint Bullion sales from September 2019 to September 2020. The figures show monthly ounces of gold and silver shipped as minted products by the Perth Mint to wholesale and retail customers worldwide. It excludes sales of cast bars and other group activities, including sales of allocated and unallocated precious metal for storage by the depository. So take a look at that chart, peruse it for a moment here before I move on to the next article for you. Alrighty, and while I'd love to keep talking about silver, I'm more biased towards silver, and Junius actually calls me his little silver bug. Let's move on to some fun news regarding a new gold mine. Now this is when they were talking about actually doing this project, and you can see there the Beridica Project is Continental Gold's 100% owned flagship high-grade gold project located in the Middle Cauca Belt in the northwest region of Colombia. Fully permitted and on schedule for 2020 production, the project is easily accessible by an approximate 2-hour drive on the paved Pan-American Highway from Medellin, Colombia's second largest city. Comprised of 2 major vein systems, the project boasts a rare combination of size, grade, excellent metallurgy, and growth potential. So that was a while back. So now I'm going to show you the article that shows that the mine has been officially inaugurated by the President of Colombia. So here you have it. El presidente de Colombia inaugura oficialmente la mina de oro Beridica. Or as I said, the President of Colombia, Ivan Duque, inaugurates officially the Beridica gold mine. Here in the picture, he's accompanied by numerous authorities as they inaugurated the mine last Friday, which is located in the northwestern region of the country, and he communicated that he hopes that the new project, sponsored by Zijin Continental Gold, a subsidiary of the Chinese company, Zijin Mining Group, hoping that this project is going to boost gold production by at least 25% as it seeks to diversify mining out of the country, which typically deals in coal. So it's the first large-scale underground gold project in Colombia and will initially produce 240,000 ounces of gold per year. And this complex, located in the heart of the Department of Antioquia, will become a key part of the economic reactivation. Since the year, it has planned to produce 8 tons of the precious metal. Beridica, in the Colombian province, has faced security problems in the past. In September 2018, 4 workers were killed by armed men, prompting the then owner, Continental Gold, to increase security. Last December, Zijin Mining agreed to buy Canadian Continental Gold for around $1 billion. The inauguration ends more than 3 years of construction, in which $610 million were invested. Beridica will enter into commercial operation in December, generating more than 2,300 direct and indirect jobs. I am pleased that as a country we realize that mining can be carried out following all social and environmental protocols, said the president during the opening ceremony. In his speech, he pointed out that the Beridica gold mine is the most important project in the history of Colombian gold mining investments. It is a new attempt at strategic investment by the mining industry and the updating of the industrial model. It also contributes to environmental protection and the economic development of society in Colombia. The great value it creates is not only in infrastructure, but ecological, environmental, and social resources as well, providing the children of this area with the opportunity to receive a better education and allow local residents to enjoy better medical services. It will help local communities to reactivate the economy and restore people's livelihoods in the post-epidemic era. During the expected 14 years of operations, the mine will bring Colombia about $794 million in taxes and royalties. This is one of the largest high-purity gold projects in the world, and its production phase is scheduled to begin in 2020, December 2020. It has mineral reserves of 3.7 million ounces of gold, with 8.4 grams per ton of gold, equivalent to 13.7 million tons. It also has an updated mineral resource estimate of 5.32 million ounces of gold, with 10.32 grams per ton of gold, or 16 million tons, in terms of measured resources, plus inferred resources of 6.02 million ounces of gold, with 8.56 grams per ton of gold. And that is to say, 21.9 million tons. In 2019, gold production in Colombia was at 36.6 tons. So that is it for today. Thank you for enduring another 30 minutes of my nasally voice. I hope it's not as annoying as Kamala Harris's voice. That would be the most insulting thing that you could say to me. So food for the trolls out there. Food for the trolls. Now, a lot of you have messaged before or emailed privately requesting ways to support or donate to the channel. Junius always places a pinned comment at the top of every video, and links are always provided in the video descriptions. Thank you, all of you, for your support, for your subscriptions, for your liking, your sharing of our videos. Junius will be back tomorrow to provide you with another video, and I do hope that you all have a wonderful day. Be safe out there. And again, thank you for your support. If you have any articles that you think would be of relevance to the channel, you are more than welcome to email them to myself or to Junius, and that information can be requested in the live chat or found on both of our profiles. All right, have a good one.